Let's talk about Past Life Episode 7. Spoilers ahead. To start off this discussion, I want to make it clear. Do not send hate to the creators for what happened during this session. You are allowed to hate a character and what the character did in-world, but please do not send hate to content creator Jimmy or Grian or any Life series member for eliminating Pearl or what happened to Pearl in this episode. We should actually be celebrating Jimmy. This was his first time he eliminated someone from the season, and also he got a triple kill. Keep in mind that this is the same fanbase that caused Jem to make this tweet after episode 7 of Secret Life. If you don't remember what happened in that episode, it's the one where Jem had the task to kill everyone on the server. Screw everyone who leaves comments like this. Credit to @DeChantisDTI on Twitter for providing the screenshots. First off, not everyone in the Life series is a hermit. Is this person saying that it's fine for the non-hermits to do stuff like this? I want to make it clear, whatever was in a video, everyone involved was okay with what happened. That's like the #1 rule of the Life series. As someone who watched the hateful chaos that ensued after the Lifesteal Season 7 end fight, I know how toxic quote-unquote fans can be. While I 100% don't think Traffic Twitter and Life series fans are as malicious and hateful towards content creators as Lifesteal fans are, a loud minority will always be present. This is what the whole video is going to be about. It's about past life from Pearl's POV. I'll mainly be talking about episode 7 though. If you know anything about Pearl in the Life series, you know that she always places top 5, besides the April Fool's Simple Life. That's been her thing. A part of her Life series lore is that she has a form of the Widow's Curse. Pearl always outlives her allies, leaving her as a remaining member of the alliance that she once had. Grian is also known to have a form of the same curse. In lore, people thought the two curses would cancel each other out and leave the villains on top. With one gone now, I think Jem's time is running out. In one session, Pearl went from 5 lives in dark green to 0 and out of the season. She broke the record for most lives lost in a single session. If we're talking about more lore, I think it's because the Villies didn't do any work on the square hole. The square hole needed to take lives, so it found a way. I made a post on Twitter shortly after we knew what happened, and it got a bit of traction. Just a bit. Most people were sad that Pearl was eliminated, but there was also some complaints. The most common complaint I saw was saying that Skynet shouldn't exist. While I don't think Skynet should be outright banned, I think it had its moment to shine during limited life. As a Pearl main, I'm sad about what happened, but I'm not going to hate the creators for making use of a height advantage. At least the second time, Jimmy used it in a non-standard way and shot down from it instead of dropping TNT minecarts. In fact, what Jimmy did the second time required more precision, as the blast radius of a TNT minecart is pretty big. Pearl also shot Jimmy first. I think there's a huge misunderstanding of what went down the night Pearl died, and that's only because people refused to watch more than one POV. People were saying the whole server ganged up against the Villies, but that's just not true. Pearl put herself in a risky position by separating from her team. It was really just Jimmy and Joel that were after them. Just because the rest of the server were together on the same platform doesn't mean they were all targeting the same group. They were just talking to each other. This next part is a bit nitpicky, but for Pearl's deaths in Session 7, I'll explain what I would have done differently to ensure survival, or at least give a greater chance of survival. For her first death in the episode, I don't think there's anything you can do. Grian opened the chest accidentally, or he didn't know the trap was primed. No way to avoid that besides just not being at the location. Next, she fell onto a stalagmite. If you look at her hotbar, you can see that there is not a water bucket. Even when I'm in my single-player survival world, I still carry a water bucket in my hotbar for protection. I'll give Pearl the benefit of the doubt here and say she didn't know what was happening. It's dark in the 1x1 hall. For the pitfall death, a water bucket would have helped again. Blocks would have also helped. At this point in the episode, Pearl was scouting the bases. She knew there was a different trap at this exact spot. She has 2 TNT minecarts in her hotbar and 15 pressure plates. Both of these should go back into the inventory, and I'd put a water bucket and blocks there instead. Scott clutches the way I'm thinking about here. He realized he was falling, so he spammed right-click with a block he picked up just seconds prior. For the triple kill, Grian said he was expecting to die there. He knew things looked suspicious. I think the only thing the Villiers could have done here that would have been beneficial to them is to look up. Gamers don't look up, and they paid the price. For Pearl's final death, I have some thoughts. When a player is invisible, there's still particles that are emitted around the invisible player's body. Even if you have particles disabled, you can still see the shiny enchanted bow in her hand. Pearl was shooting up at Joel and Jimmy. Jimmy isn't the best PvPer on the server, but him with a bow is still good against an unarmored Pearl. And also it got even easier to aim at the target because Pearl already had a couple other arrows in her, making her even more visible. I don't expect Pearl to have UHC level PvP skills, and you shouldn't have to survive in the series, but it's always good to have spatial awareness and some knowledge of what's going on around you. Once Pearl started getting shot, there's nothing she could have done. Jimmy only shot his bow 3 times, and all 3 shots landed. To sum things up, do not send hate towards the creators. They're playing in a for fun Minecraft series. If something happened that they didn't agree with, it wouldn't be in an episode. What happened to Pearl in episode 7 is deeply unfortunate, but it's just how things played out. This gives the Villies a bigger chance to step into their role as the villains. They're out for blood next session, and I can't wait to see how the rest of the season plays out, considering there's probably only 2 episodes left. Have a great time zone, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!